Chosen one, there is something about you that most people cannot see, but it has not gone unnoticed. You think your quiet moments didn't matter. You think those nights of doubt, those slow days, those silent prayers went unseen. But that's not true. What mattered was not perfection. It was not how strong you looked to others. It was the moment you could have given up, but didn't. That was the moment everything began to shift. Most people wait for clarity before they move forward. But you kept walking even when the path didn't make sense. You kept believing even when nothing around you confirmed it. And that is rare, because real faith doesn't show up when life is easy. It shows up when everything feels uncertain, when progress is slow, when your mind is full of questions. There were days you looked around and felt behind. You saw others moving ahead while your own life felt stuck. But what you didn't realize is this: you were not being delayed, you were being prepared. Some doors didn't open because they weren't meant to. Some paths stayed blocked because they would have taken you away from where you truly needed to be. What felt like waiting was actually protection. And every time you chose patience over frustration, every time you chose to stay instead of walk away, you were building something within yourself that most people never develop. Strength. Not loud strength, not the kind people praise on the outside, but quiet strength, the kind that carries you through storms without breaking. And now something is changing. You may not see it fully yet, but you can feel it. A shift in your thinking, a calmness that wasn't there before, a sense that something is about to move. That's not your imagination. That's the result of everything you've been through. You didn't let bitterness take over. You didn't close your heart after disappointment. You stayed open even when it hurt. And that decision is about to matter more than you think. Because the next phase of your life won't be built on luck. It will be built on the person you have become. The patience you learned will guide your decisions. The struggles you faced will shape your wisdom. The faith you held on to will carry you forward. Listen carefully now. What's coming next in your life won't arrive in a loud, dramatic way. It will begin quietly, a conversation, an idea, a small opportunity, something that feels ordinary at first but isn't. Most people miss these moments because they are waiting for something big. But real change often begins in small, almost invisible ways. So don't ignore what feels simple. Pay attention to what keeps showing up. Pay attention to what feels right, even if it doesn't make full sense yet. Because that's how direction starts revealing itself. You've already done the hardest part. You stayed when it would have been easier to quit. You believed when doubt was louder. You moved forward when nothing was guaranteed. And because of that, your life is not the same anymore. And now, something deeper is beginning to unfold in your life. Even if you cannot fully explain it yet, there is a reason your mindset is shifting. There is a reason certain things no longer affect you the same way. And there is a reason you are starting to see situations differently than before. This is not hulu, this is growth. Before, the pressure used to shake you, uncertainty used to make you anxious, delays used to frustrate you more than they should have. But now, something inside you has changed. You are calmer, more aware, less reactive. And that change did not come easily. It was built through everything you endured when life felt unclear and heavy. You see, most people want results without transformation. They want doors to open without becoming the person who can walk through them. But your journey didn't work that way. You were shaped first. Every delay you experienced forced you to slow down and reflect. Every closed door pushed you to develop patience. Every confusing moment strengthened your ability to keep moving without certainty. That's why you're different now. You are not just hoping for a better future anymore. You are becoming someone who can actually handle it. And this is where many people get it wrong. They think blessings are just about receiving something new, more money, better opportunities, recognition. But the truth is, without the right mindset, those things don't last. They either disappear or they turn into pressure. That's why your process took time. Because what's coming into your life next requires stability, not just desire. It requires discipline, not just excitement. It requires a level of awareness that only comes from experience. And now you're stepping into that level. You might start noticing small but meaningful shifts around you. Conversations that feel different. Opportunities that seem subtle but important. Moments where things start aligning in ways you didn't expect. At first, you may question it. You may wonder, is this really something, or am I overthinking it? But don't ignore these signs, because this is how change begins. Not all at once, not in a dramatic explosion, but step by step, quietly, strategically, at the right time. You were never meant to rush into your next season. If things had happened earlier, you would not have been ready. You might have made decisions based on emotion instead of clarity. You might have followed paths that looked good but led nowhere meaningful. So what felt like delay was actually direction. And now you're starting to move with more awareness than before. That's power. Because once you begin to see clearly, you stop chasing everything. You become more selective. You stop reacting to every opportunity and start recognizing which ones actually matter. That's the difference between movement and progress. Most people are busy but not progressing. They are constantly moving but without direction. But you are stepping into a phase where your actions will start to carry purpose, where your decisions will begin to create real impact. And here's something important you need to understand. Not everyone will recognize this shift in you. Some people will still see you the way you used to be. Some will not understand your growth. Others may even question your direction. But that's because they didn't experience what you went through. They didn't feel the weight of your struggles. They didn't witness the internal battles you fought. So they cannot fully understand the strength you've built. And that's okay. Your journey was never meant to be validated by everyone. It was meant to prepare you. There will be moments ahead where you will need to trust your own judgment more than external opinions. Moments where clarity will come from within, not from others. And in those moments, your growth will guide you. You will respond differently than before. You will think differently. You will choose differently. And those choices will shape everything that comes next. You are no longer in the same position you once were. Even if your external situation hasn't completely changed yet, your internal state has. And that's where real transformation begins. Because once your mindset changes, your actions follow. And once your actions change, your results eventually catch up. So don't get discouraged if everything hasn't fully aligned yet. You are already in motion. The shift has already started. And what's coming into your life will match the version of you that exists now, not the version you used to be. This is why patience is still important, not passive waiting, but active awareness. Stay present, stay focused, stay intentional. Because the more aware you are, the better you will recognize the opportunities that are meant for you. And when they appear, you won't hesitate. You won't second guess yourself the way you used to. You'll move with quiet confidence. Not because everything is guaranteed, but because you trust yourself more now. And that trust is powerful. It's what separates those who stay stuck from those who move forward. You are not moving blindly anymore. You are moving with understanding, with experience, with strength that was built over time. And because of that, the next steps in your life will not feel as overwhelming as they once did. You are ready in ways you didn't realize before. And soon you will start seeing clear proof of that. Small wins will begin to appear. Moments of progress will start to confirm your direction. Things that once felt impossible will start to feel achievable, not overnight, but steadily. And when that happens, you'll finally understand why everything had to unfold the way it did. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every moment shaped you. Every delay positioned you. Every challenge strengthened you. And now, you are stepping into a phase where all of it begins to make sense. And now you are closer than you think, not just to a change in circumstances, but to a change in identity. Because what is happening in your life right now is not only about what you will receive, it's about who you are becoming. For a long time, you were focused on surviving, getting through the day, managing your thoughts, trying to stay strong when everything felt uncertain. But this next phase is different. It's no longer about just getting through life. It's about stepping into it with intention. You are not the same person who started this journey. Back then, doubt had more control. Fear had a louder voice. And uncertainty could easily slow you down. But now you've seen what you can endure. You've faced moments where you thought you wouldn't make it, and you still moved forward. That changes a person. It builds a kind of confidence that doesn't need to be loud, a quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't panic when things don't go perfectly, the kind that stays steady even when situations shift. And this is exactly why what's coming next will not break you. It will challenge you, yes, but it will not overwhelm you the way things once did. Because now you understand something deeper. You understand that pressure is not always a sign to stop. Sometimes it's a sign that something important is forming. And instead of running from it, you've learned how to stand in it. That is growth. That is power. And that is exactly what sets you apart. Now listen carefully, because this part matters. As your life begins to open up, you will be presented with choices. Not all of them will be obvious. Not all of them will look perfect. Some opportunities will come quietly. Some decisions will require you to trust yourself without full clarity. And in those moments, you cannot go back to your old patterns. You cannot move out of fear. You cannot choose based on comfort alone, because comfort keeps people in the same place. Growth requires movement. It requires the willingness to step into something unfamiliar while trusting that you've been prepared for it. And you have. Everything you went through built that preparation. The patience you developed will stop you from rushing into the wrong things. The awareness you gained will help you recognize what truly matters. The strength you built will carry you through moments of uncertainty. So when the moment comes, move forward. Even if it feels small, even if it feels slow, even if it doesn't look impressive to others. Because progress is not always loud. Sometimes the most important steps are the ones no one else notices. Now here's something else you need to be aware of. As you grow, not everything around you will grow with you. Some people will drift away. Some environments will no longer feel right. Some habits will lose their place in your life, and that can feel uncomfortable. But it's necessary, because you cannot step into a new phase while holding on to everything from the old one. Growth requires release. Not everything is meant to go with you where you're heading. And holding on too tightly to what's familiar can slow down what's meant to happen next. So if something begins to fall away, don't chase it. Don't force it. Let it go. Because what belongs in your life moving forward will align with the person you are becoming now, not the person you used to be. And that alignment will feel different. It will feel calmer, clearer, more stable. Not rushed, not forced, not confusing. That's how you will know you are moving in the right direction. Now think about this for a moment. All those times you felt like nothing was happening, all those days where progress felt invisible, all those moments where you questioned everything, they were not empty. They were building this version of you, a version that is more aware, more patient, more grounded, and because of that, you are now in a position to create something real, not temporary success, not short-lived excitement, but something meaningful, something stable, something that actually lasts. And that's rare. Most people rush into things and then wonder why they fall apart. But you were slowed down on purpose so that when things begin to come together, they stay together. That's the difference. Now, as you move forward, remember this. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need perfect clarity. You don't need guarantees. What you need, you already have. The ability to keep going, the strength to handle challenges, the awareness to make better decisions. That is enough. More than enough. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't delay your progress by overthinking every step. Move with what you know, trust what you feel, and adjust as you go. Because clarity doesn't come before movement, it comes through it. And the more you move forward, the clearer everything will become. Now, one last thing, take a moment and reflect on how far you've come, not just in terms of results, but in terms of who you are now. That growth matters more than you think. If you felt this messagey, if something in you knows that you are stepping into a new phase, then mark this moment. Comment, "I'm ready," below, not for anyone else, but as a signal to yourself, a decision, a line between who you were and who you are becoming. Because from this point forward, you're not just waiting for change, you are walking into it. And this is where everything comes together, not in a single moment, not in one dramatic event, but in the quiet realization that you're no longer the same person. Look at yourself honestly. The way you think has changed. The way you handle pressure has changed. Even the way you see your future has changed. And that didn't happen by chance. It happened because you stayed. You stayed when things got uncomfortable. You stayed when progress felt slow. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. That decision changed your direction more than you realize, because most people never reach this point. They quit too early. They let frustration take control. They allow doubt to convince them that nothing is happening. But you didn't. And now you're standing at the edge of something different, not perfect, not effortless, but real, a phase where things begin to connect, where your actions start creating visible results, where your internal growth finally begins to reflect in your external life. And when that starts happening, don't rush it. This is important. Don't fall back into the habit of forcing everything to happen quickly, because you've already seen what happens when things are rushed. Confusion, mistakes, regret. This time, move differently. Move with awareness, move with patience, move with intention. Let things build the right way, because what is built slowly tends to last longer. Now, there will be moments ahead where you will be tested again, not in the same way as before, but in new ways. You may face decisions that require courage, situations that require discipline, opportunities that require you to step outside your comfort zone. And in those moments, remember who you've become. Don't shrink back. Don't doubt yourself the way you used to. You've already proven that you can handle more than you thought. So trust that. Trust your growth. Trust your progress. Trust the fact that you didn't come this far just to stay in the same place. Because you didn't. You've moved forward. Even when it felt slow, even when it felt invisible, you were still progressing. And now, the results of that progress are getting closer. Maybe not all at once, maybe not exactly how you expected, but they're coming in the form of better decisions, stronger mindset, clearer direction, and eventually real, visible change. So when things start to shift, don't question it too much. Don't overanalyze every opportunity. Don't let fear make you hesitate. Step into it, even if it feels unfamiliar. Because unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong, it often means growth. And growth is exactly where you are right now. You are no longer stuck. You are no longer lost. You are no longer waiting the way you used to. You are moving, maybe slowly, maybe quietly, but forward. And that's what matters. Now take a second and be real with yourself. Think about everything you've been through, everything you've handled, everything you didn't let break you. That's not weakness, that's proof. Proof that you're stronger than your past. Proof that you're capable of more than you thought. Proof that you're ready for what's next. So don't go back to doubting your path. Don't go back to questioning your worth. Don't go back to thinking you're behind. You're not behind. You're in position, right where you need to be for the next phase to begin, and from here. Everything depends on one thing. Will you keep moving or will you hesitate? Because the path is not blocked anymore. It's open, step by step, opportunity by opportunity, decision by decision. And as long as you keep going, you will reach places that once felt out of reach. That's not motivation. That's reality if you stay consistent. So this is your moment to decide, not tomorrow, not later, right now. If you're done doubting yourself, if you're ready to move forward with clarity, if you're ready to step into the next version of your life, then make it real. Comment, "I move forward" below. Not for views, not for anyone else, but as a commitment. Because from this point on, you're not just hoping things will change. You're becoming the reason they do.